Right then, welcome back, and today we're going to have a look at some highlights from the 20-minute endurance race we did at Suzuka on the Moto GP circuit layout. That's a mouthful. On the 2007 GSX-R1000, one of my favourite bikes in the game. The colour scheme is fantastic. We did go testing, we did 9 laps, best was a 203.758, and that's the setup we used. So started off with 208, worked my way through and ended up there. Front hard was too hard, so I ended up dropping to a medium, but we're stuck with a medium on the rear now. The normal Suzuka circuit, when we had a go on the ZX-7R, was alright. It's not massively different for the Moto GP. Turn 1 all the way up to the exit of the hairpin, 2/3 of the way around, is pretty much the same. So same braking points, same turning points, absolutely everything. The biggest difference is this bike is considerably faster than the ZX-7R was. So the braking points are a little bit sooner, the turning points are a little bit sooner, and the bike will transport you from one end of the straight to the other, obviously a little bit more quickly. But look at the weather. This 1700 or 5 p.m. time on the game is just stunning. I get it's not even a next generation game, it's an old generation game with the old software and algorithms and everything else. They've just polished it and rolled it in glitter, but oh my god, it is just mega. Some of the stills, some of the pictures we managed to get from this test session, you can't get pictures on an endurance race because you can't record it, so you can't watch the replay, as in you can't watch the replay, not record it. My apologies. There's no way of watching a replay of an endurance race. I don't know why. It must be something to do with the amount of cache in the game or the console memory. But anyway, all the way round this bike, I mean, it is a little bit heavier on the rear tyre than I was anticipating. But we did run, I think it was a medium front soft rear for this. We'll see when we go and check the leaderboards in a minute. But I mean, through 130R, and then this is the biggest change. Here, the braking point is a lot later, and you go into a really, really tight chicane. And if you nail it, which we absolutely did, nice and tight to the curbs, and then stay tight through this last corner, and you'll get a much faster time. And we end up on a 203.578. And it tells us we beat all the recommended ghosts. We haven't beat all of the ghosts. We've just beat all of the ghosts that are thereabouts an hour, like time scale. Our PI rating. So we're inside the top 20, which I was quite surprised about. I didn't think it would be that fast, 15th to be a little more accurate, and we did it on a medium front and soft rear. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. To say it's a couple of generations old superbike, she's quite fast. Race-wise, as always, check the description. There's always something in there that I've forgotten, or little thoughts and hints and tips, or little musings on stuff that I don't necessarily remember when I'm doing these highlights videos. But yeah, off the start, not a lot happened until most of the AI riders, well, a lot of the AI riders went from 19th to 12th just through the first couple of turns. She felt a bit big, fat and heavy with a full tank on, which is understandable for anyone who rides a motorbike, especially something that's got a big tank on it. So most of your current adventure bikes or sport tourers, my good friend Mr. Stead struggles with his BMW S1000 XR when it's got a full tank. Can't pick it up because he's got little legs and big ambitions, but it doesn't matter because he's very enthusiastic. So, but yeah, the bike just felt a little bit heavy, but it's only taken about 100 endurance races for me to realise I just need to go steady with it. The plan was to run long, and when I say long, I mean very long. We've just flicked onto eco mode, and I was just going to try and do what we did at other races in the recent past where we've gone long, we've not had to stop, and we ended up winning by a country mile. This didn't this didn't quite work out the same way. We made a little bit of a meringue of it just by, well, being a bit daft really. But as first laps go, bear in mind I spoke too soon, it wasn't too bad until that point. The AI got way too excited. We did get back on. It took the best part of a lap to catch back up, and then I just kissed the AI rider into the hairpin rough again, so I went 13th out of 15th. But we just seemed to have a lot more drive. The back end of the lap through 130R into the chicane, look how much time we make up on the riders in front. Ignore the gap to leader because the leader's miles away down the straight, but just look, we are absolutely caning them on the way through that last chicane, through the last corner and onto the start finish straight, which is not a bad thing, because being fast at the end of the lap always gives you the opportunity to send a Hail Mary past someone, and that's not a bad thing. Up to 12th, few people pitting. Again, we go for the overtake at the hairpin, except this time, rather than coming from way back when, I put the bike where he or she wants to be, or where they want to be, rather than running a risky overtake. Then we've got loads more pace through 200R. Well, it says 200R, but it's a chicane, isn't it? It's not 200R. 200R is the corner when there is no chicane there. Over the bumps, it's lovely. Through 130R again, and yeah, we are hopefully going to see how good we are not on the brakes, and we smash into another GSX-R than same livery as us, so we could call it a teammate if you wanted. We get back on, we manage to stay in 11th, and then we go past the pits and everyone's gone in. Bear in mind, we are not 10 minutes into this race yet, and they're pitting already, so I'm a little bit concerned that either A, I've missed a trick, or B, they're using their fuel a lot quicker than I thought they might. Bear in mind, we're in eco mode through the last chicane again, and we get up the inside of one rider and then the other rider pits, and then we're up to 4th and 3rd because everyone else is in the pits. Gap to leader 9.7, well 9.8, call it 10 seconds gap to leader. We've got loads more fuel. Problem's going to be the rear tyre, but we'll have a look at it when we get to 10 minutes and we'll see how we are sitting. On lap 5 we just run onto the grass through Dunlop. That pushes us wide, then we get on the bumps on the outside and it spits us off again, which wasn't great, which meant when we get to the halfway point, bear in mind we would like to see 50% on all our gauges. Fuel, yes. Front tyre, yes. Rear tyre, no. So now I have an internal debate on what am I going to do. Do I pit? Do I not pit? We had a gap of about 12 seconds. I think, do you know what? Sod it. We'll go in. I'm not going to put any fuel in. I'm going to drop to a medium front tyre. I'm going to put a medium on the rear again, because they're staying warm, we've got loads of grip. That front end is just a little bit cold. So whilst we wait for the pit crew to do the thing, we're going to have a cup of tea, probably a pot noodle. We might even be able to get a mini roll as well, but we'll see. When they've finally finished and we exit the pits, we are all the way down in... Where does it drop us out? That's 11th. We're going to go down to 12th? No, we come out in 11th. 27, almost 28 seconds behind the leader. However, the lead Japanese rider hasn't pitted, so they're going to pit. So what we need to do is work out where everyone else is, and then we can gauge how fast we're going to go. Into the last corner, the lap after we've pitted, and look at the absolute freight train of pain we have in front of us. Then everyone peels off again. I don't get it. Why are they all diving into the pits when they've got plenty of fuel left? I don't mind, because we've gone from nowhere to 4th, and now we're 4 seconds behind the leader, which all of a sudden makes the potential of winning this race all the more greater, higher, bigger, whatever word you would like to use. Lap 7, just under 5 minutes left, down the back straight. The plan was to shadow the rider in front through 130R and then outbrake him into the chicane, but they decided they were going to brake mega early for 130, almost caught me out. We're not done yet because a lot happened in not a massive space of time. Into the last chicane, what do they call it? The golden triangle? No, Casio triangle. I thought it was a golden triangle. Chinese down the road. But yeah, they dive into the pits. We only just miss them. We're in second, and that is the leader in front of us. That was quite a busy bit of track and action for 75% of the way into an endurance race. It just felt a little bit, oh, there's going to be a big accident. Look at that sunset. That sunset's absolutely fantastic. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut up until we overtake the leader. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, table, chairs and drawers, was pretty much that. A lovely overtake into the hairpin. I put the bike where they wanted to be, moved them off the line, eased past, no contact, no stress, no worries, there was no losing the front end, there was no anything. And we ended up crossing the line onto lap 10 with about 20 seconds left. And I did consider backing off, but we didn't have a big enough gap to the second place Japanese rider. We are at 1% fuel coming through the last corner. Now, I was worried that if we ran out of fuel before we got to the last chicane, we would be in trouble, but it ran out just there with about, 20-30 metres to go. So I would say that that was almost a perfect fuel strategy. But there you go. Very enjoyable. The full-length race is rather entertaining. It's quick, it's fast, it's constant. Oh, look at that. That is an absolutely fantastic. Oh my good lord. But this is what I mean. The game just, I don't know what it is. I'm just finding more and more things to love about it, especially after playing MotoGP 2 and seeing that shit demo of Superbike 22 or whatever they're going to call it. But there you go, it's done. Another endurance race done. A couple more of the 20 minutes left, and then we're going to start mixing it up. We're going to do a 20 minute, a 40 minute, and then an hour, and I'm going to roll it around and do whatever I need to do. So thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, liking, subscribing. You're all absolute legends and heroes, and fingers crossed I will see you next time. Take care, stay safe, peace.